I know it's been a while, sorry. I've been living a crazy life, and so I haven't really had a chance to make a video. I still keep getting subscribers, so thanks, I guess. There's a few reasons why I haven't made a video. Reason number one is I don't really think about transgender stuff anymore because it's just not relevant, because I'm just busy living. I get correctly gendered all the time, or 99% of the time. It's so infrequent that someone calls me she that it doesn't really matter, and it only happens over the phone and I just move on. And I had top surgery, and the only thing that really is left is bottom stuff, and I'm not in a relationship and probably not going to be in a relationship, and I don't really have plans to be in a relationship, so it's sort of irrelevant. And I'm not an activist type person, so, you know. If you followed my videos at all, you know that I've moved a few times in the last 2 years, something like 4 times. The first time I moved was to start testosterone. It's been a rough couple of years with all these different people that I've been living with, and 2 of the 3 situations involved me renting a room in someone's house and having no control over the house and whatever, because I was subletting. It was horrible. And so the 3rd time, because of the surgery, I needed someone to take care of me because I was pretty much an invalid for a month. So I decided to move in with these trans people who I figured would be a slightly safer bet. I wouldn't have to explain the whole surgery. They would kind of know what was going on. The problem was they happened to be local and slightly less crazy than everybody else, but still crazy. So they pretty much sealed a deal on me not wanting to have roommates ever again. And I told them this, and I said, I know our lease is not up, but before our lease ends, I'm planning to, you know, buy a house and get the fuck away from you and not have roommates ever again. And so the crazy trans woman decided to freak out about the fact that I was going to leave them in the lurch. And she kept insisting on me providing her with a due date, like when I was planning to be gone, which I didn't have, because at that point it was merely the I'm gonna move out, I'm gonna buy a house, but I hadn't started the process. So I started the house hunting process. Before, I was still just like looking at houses and talking to the realtor. I hadn't made any decisions at this point. And she decided that it was time for me to leave, and I had 3 days to do so. We had a lease. I had paid for the whole month. This was like the 2nd or 3rd of the month, so I had literally just paid for the month. Yeah, she just needed me out, or she was going to try to use the lease against me. The cool thing about co-signing a lease is that both of you are protected by the lease. That's why that's why you sign this document, to prevent bullshit from happening. It's important to keep in mind this trans woman is taller than me, heavier than me, and used to be a man. So there are advantages that she had over me physically. I don't have a negative opinion about the BDSM community. It's great, fine, have fun. But she had the habit of pretty much having orgies every weekend, all weekend, and because she had a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday kind of job. So she pretty much had orgies every weekend with strangers that she picked up on the internet. Our rooms were adjoining. They were literally, the wall was very thin and the rooms were touching, so I had to sort of deal with the noises coming out of her room, their room, constantly, which was mentally traumatic, which is part of the reason why I wanted to move out. So I started the process of house hunting, and she started the process of trying to blackmail me into leaving before the month that I had paid for was through. So she invited my replacement. She invited some girl to move in and sleep on the couch to provide extra emotional pressure to get me out of there. We started arguing over bullshit. It's just little tiny bullshit that escalated to a ridiculous degree. It was literally less than a molehill, and it became bigger than a mountain. It was a live volcano. In one particular incident, I came home from work and I was literally filing paperwork to bid on a house. Literally, like I was doing it while we were arguing. And I explained to her, because I'm not an idiot, I looked up information about the fact that the lease protects us both, to tell her, if you try to fuck me over with the lease, I can fuck you over with the lease. And she realized she had no upper hand over me, because she's not very smart, but she's just sort of, she's sneaky but stupid. So she tried to hold it over me and she couldn't. And when she realized that she had no cards left, she just suddenly exploded and started screaming that I had threatened her physical violence and that she was going to call the cops on me. The situation was very ugly, and I'm not going to go into much detail about it here because they filed a restraining order against me. The cops came at 3 in the morning and kicked me out with just the clothes on my back. We went to trial, and the judge pretty much confirmed that she had no proof of anything, and she was just making shit up, and it's sort of her job to have evidence, and so the case was dismissed. So I spent a couple months couch surfing while my house went through. Yeah, so now I'm here. So there you go, I have a house, and I also rescued a dog. Yeah, so it's been a little crazy, and that, of course, whole situation sort of made it hard to shoot video because they were around and gross and loud and having orgies, so it wasn't a good place for me to shoot videos. Like, I had nothing to talk about that was good anyway. So I got this place, and I'm still half unfurnished, which is great. But I also adopted a dog, and she's amazing. Her name is Bluetooth, and anyone who sees us together knows I'm deeply in love with her. Yeah, but the big thing is, like, it's great that my videos are still getting out there and people feel inspired by them or want to see what I'm doing. I'm kind of an introvert and not that big in talking about myself beyond a certain point. Like, I've done that, and it's great, and I got most of the therapeutic use out of making videos on YouTube. I'm not planning to take my channel down, I just don't know if and when I'll upload again. My top surgery went fine, see? There is some scarring. Like, I was thinking of making a top post-surgery video thing, but I never did. The scarring is 90% good. Like, it healed really well for the most part. On my side here, there was some stitching that my body didn't like. It was fighting the stitching, so I have some stuff that wasn't healing on the side, and they had to remove the stitching to get it to finish healing. So I have like big scars on the side. I don't really take my shirt off around other people, so it doesn't really matter. I also only have 1.5 nipples. One of my nipples also didn't heal. This nipple over here didn't heal correctly, so I've got the round part, but I don't have the pokey nipple part. It's sort of like an innie, which I guess is okay. So I have a regular nipple, an innie nipple, and then a weird scar under my arm. But the process was generally pretty good. My friend took care of me the first week post-surgery, just to make sure nothing horrible happened. And I spent a lot of time on a recliner, like a month on a recliner. But it was really good for mental health. That was a really nice mental health break for me. And it led me to sort of re-explore my creativity. So I started doing art again, which was cool. And then the whole drama with my ex-roommates didn't help and sort of killed the creative impulses again. Yeah, that was bad. Just because someone's trans doesn't mean they're cool. Just keep that in mind. Be careful who you live with. Also, buying a house, you have to put money down, but it's cheaper than paying rent. So, you know, you get a whole house for less than you would get for like a 2-bedroom apartment. At least in this area. I'm gonna show you Bluetooth and then this video is pretty much over. That's Bluetooth. She's a belly rub, greedy girl. She's really pretty. Isn't that right, Bluetooth? Isn't that right? Thanks for watching. Kai out.